Given that Christopher Walken's character, Emperor Shaddam IV, plays a key role in Dune Part 2, it's worth looking into the context and history of the character. Denis Villeneuve decided to split Frank Herbert's nearly 900-page novel, Dune, into two films for his adaptation. The move gave the story room to breathe and heels even out the patchy pacing, and pushed back the debut of Emperor Shaddam IV, the main villain of Dune, to the sequel. The part is played by Christopher Walken, and diverges from previous incarnations in key ways. Promotion for Dune Part 2 revealed very little about the Emperor. The character's most significant scene comes at the ending of Dune Part 2. The first film's main villain is Baron Harkonnen, who attacks the royal house of protagonist Paul Atreides after the Emperor gives House Atreides control of the spice planet Arrakis. However, it's the Emperor who is revealed to be pulling the strings, and Part 2 explores why in further detail. Much like he is in the book, Emperor Shaddam is the main antagonist for Paul Atreides in the Dune cinematic world. The Emperor, whose full name is Shaddam Carino IV, is the 81st and last of the Padishah line. He has final legal authority and control over the Sardaukar, an elite fighting force reputed to be the most fearsome in the galaxy. While it's Baron Harkonnen who constitutes the most immediate threat in the first movie, attacking House Atreides and killing Paul's father Leto, his actions were actually directed by the big bad of the series, Emperor Shaddam. Emperor Shaddam sought to wipe out House Atreides, out of the fear that the charismatic and respected Leto Atreides would dispose of him as Emperor, so he loaned his Sardaukar fighters to House Harkonnen for use in a devastating attack on Arrakis. However, that same attack galvanized Paul against the Emperor. Shaddam IV didn't appear in the first Dune movie, as his first appearance in the Dune book doesn't occur until about 700 pages in. Nevertheless, it's Shaddam IV, not House Harkonnen, that constitutes the most significant threat to Paul and the remainder of House Atreides in Dune Part 2. The casting of Emperor Shaddam was kept under wraps long into Dune's production. Several names were theorized, including Mahershala Ali, Bryan Cranston, and Michael Shannon, before it was finally announced that Christopher Walken would play the ruler. The actor has seen a lengthy Hollywood career, with numerous performances that qualify Christopher Walken as the perfect Emperor. The actor rose to prominence with a star-making role in The Deer Hunter, where he plays the haunted and irrational Nick. Walken's unique vocal delivery and intense performance style render the actor capable of delivering captivating villain performances and memorable one-scene appearances. Both skills will prove important for the Emperor, who makes his mark as a fearsome antagonist with little screen time. In Pulp Fiction, Walken's iconic Gold Watch monologue demonstrated that the actor is more than capable of holding his own in a stacked ensemble cast with only a brief scene. In performances ranging from the industrialist showman Max Schreck in Batman Returns to the unholy Headless Horseman in Sleepy Hollow, Walken has demonstrated a wide portfolio of electrifying villain roles that elevate the work in which they appear. Walken's portrayal does feature some key differences from the Dune book's Emperor. Most significantly, Walken's Emperor looks much older than his book counterpart. In the novel, the Emperor is 70 years old, but his regular consumption of spice gives him the appearance of a man in his 30s. It's a detail that gives a strange edge to Paul and the Emperor's dynamic, as Shaddam's seniority of years is concealed behind a visage not much older than Paul's. However, the film shows an 80-year-old Christopher Walken looking his age, meaning this detail likely won't play into the adaptation. Nevertheless, Walken's performance delivers on the book's characterization in other ways. The Emperor's half-whispered line, "Your father was a weak man," supports the novel version of the Emperor's obsession with projecting strength. Walken's Emperor possesses the gravitas of his character in the novel, as well as his proclivity for manipulation. Christopher Walken's portrayal of Emperor Shaddam is markedly different from Jose Ferrer's turn as the character in David Lynch's ill-fated 1984 Dune adaptation. Lynch's take on the sci-fi story is eccentric, complete with lush production design and imaginative imagery. However, the film is also plagued by inconsistency, with a confused tone and performances that range from muted and realistic to cartoonishly over the top. While Jose Ferrer is an accomplished actor, whose appearance in 1950's Cyrano de Bergerac earned him an Academy Award, his turn as the Emperor is one of the most ridiculous in Dune. Ferrer plays Shaddam with a stilted, mustache-twirling energy that makes him difficult to take seriously as a threat. On the other hand, Walken's hushed tones and somber intensity speak to a subtler performance, one more closely aligned with Villeneuve's grittier telling. Walken's muted look is far removed from the ornate dress of Herrera's character, which is heavily inspired by the 20th century European monarchy. However, both Lynch's Dune and Villeneuve's Dune Part 2 depict the Emperor as an older man, doing away entirely with the book's detail of the Emperor maintaining a youthful appearance due to spice. Dune 3 is nearly guaranteed given that Denis Villeneuve's original vision for the series was in 3 parts, and the box office returns are a lock. Dune Part 2 also sets up an adaptation of the Dune Messiah novel, so the 3rd chapter will likely continue in that direction. However, Emperor Shaddam's role in the narrative is over when Paul Atreides ascends to the throne. He is later exiled to his ancestral planet and only briefly mentioned in Dune Messiah. It seems likely that Walken's performance in Dune Part 2 will be the only appearance of Emperor Shaddam IV. What did you think of Dune Part 2? Let me know in the comments below. Remember to like the video and subscribe for more Dune videos in the future. And remember to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Thank you all for watching, and remember, the Force will be with you. Always.